Hi everyone, I'd like to go through the clothing I wear for canoe camping in the Adirondacks during the shoulder season. So that would be the month of November and March, April, depending on the weather conditions. And usually it's April. It's rare that I've actually been able to paddle in March up there. There's a lot of different clothing that I have to choose from, so I'm going to kind of show you all of it. I like to go with wool in November, and also if I'm doing things in March, I like to go with wool. When I start getting into mid to late April, then I go back to synthetics. Okay, so so this is going to be comprehensive. And I'll kind of show you how I'm using the wool and how I'm doing some mixing of wool and synthetics. Now, hat-wise, while I'm paddling, I take a Filson tin packer hat, but this is the insulated one, so it's got the ear flaps that go down. So I'll wear that while I'm paddling. And then I bring my Fall Raven cap neck gaiter combination here, so that works really well. I'll wear this around in camp, and you know, if it's cold out on the water and I need to cover my neck, I'll wear this, and this will fit under the tin packer hat, so it gives me additional insulation. And then I bring a wool cap that also has ear flaps on it. This one, I'm not even sure what brand it is. I've had it for a while. It's probably like Pendleton or Woolrich or something. But this works really nice, so if I don't want to wear either around camp or paddling the tin packer, I'll wear this. And then I bring, this is some of the synthetic I bring, a Patagonia heavy fleece balaclava. So there's a little overlap there, so sometimes I'll leave this at home and just bring the Fall Raven cap, and that will do the trick, but I like having that. And then base layer wise, I bring my Fall Raven merino wool top. So this works out really nice, and I combine that with the Patagonia heavyweight capeline bottom. So that's the base layer there. And underneath that I'll bring my Patagonia briefs to wear. And of course a bandana. And then sock-wise. Sock-wise, I bring smart wool socks, so I'll wear these paddling or around in camp. I always bring some of the Cool Max liners because I can line that with this, with the smart wool, or with the heavy wool socks that I bring that I'll wear in camp, and rarely, but sometimes paddling. Okay, so those would be the three types of socks that I bring. And then shoe-wise, while I'm paddling, I will either bring my bean insulated boots, and I can bring these and combine it with either the tall sealskin waterproof socks, so that it's no problem getting in and out of the boat and getting these wet. I do waterproof them, but you know, water comes in. And then the other possibility to go with those are these Coquetat launch socks, and these are taller, so you know, they would go up to my knees. So that gives me plenty of waterproofness. And I only wear the boots when paddling. I don't wear them around camp, so it's not a problem if they get wet. And I do hot tent, so these can get dried out by the stove. Now, last year I just got the Maine 16-inch hunting boots. So these I've waterproofed, and this season I'm going to be trying these instead of these lower ones. And again, I can use the launch socks with them or the sealskin socks with them. If I've tried them with wool socks, both these boots, and you know the wool does get wet. Some water does get in, which is not a problem because again the wool I can dry pretty easily in the hot tent. So that takes care of footwear when on paddling. In camp, I'll go with these REI boots, and these are insulated, so they're nice and warm. They've got a good sole, so walking around camp, these are very good. And inside the hot tent, I'll wear these down booties, and these are nice because they're not as heavy as those. So if I'm just moving around in the tent or laying around in the tent, this is what I'll use. Now, top-wise, let's talk about top-wise. So my base layer I already explained, and what I do is I like to bring wool. So this is a Johnson Mills light wool shirt. This is not real heavy. Maybe it's medium weight. So this would be one that I would bring to go on top of the base layer. And then I do have a, I think this is also a Johnson Mills. It's a heavier wool jacket. Okay, so this I can layer over that if I need to, or I can layer it over something else. But those would be my go-to wool tops. And then pants-wise, I like to wear wool pants. So I like these. These are German Army wool pants. And they're great. They're heavy wool. They're really sturdily made. You can see I wear them with suspenders, but I'll also put a belt in there. I'll put the tactical belt in. And I like them because they have lots of pockets in them, and they're real rugged. So that would be a pair of wool pants that I would bring with me and wear paddling. The other possibility is I do have some Woolrich pants. These are lighter weight wool pant, so I can bring a pair of those with me instead of the German Army ones. And then I do have some real heavy weight. These are Woolrich Malone pants. So, you know, later in November or earlier in November, I might bring these because these are all heavy. These are heavy weight, even heavier than the German Army ones. And all these will take suspenders and a belt. And then sleeping wise, I put fleece socks on, and then I bring a fleece balaclava. That's a Patagonia, so I'll put that on, keep my head and neck warm. And then I have the Terramar wool, merino wool top and bottom, and I sleep in those. And then sometimes I'll bring my Patagonia down sweater and the down pants along, because I find I'll wear these around in camp. And they're lightweight and they compress, so it's not really a big deal to have them with me. It's kind of backup. Most of the time I'm fine just in the wool. And now paddling wise, if the water is cold at that time of the year, so if I'm doing any paddling on large lakes or rivers that have any kind of current, I'm not going to wear the wool. I'm going to go with paddling setup. So basically what I'll do is I have a paddling top, and this of course doubles as a rain suit. Okay, so this comes with me no matter what. So I have a paddling top, and then there's pants that go with it. And these are both NRS paddling top and bottom. And then underneath it, I could put this NRS Union suit. Okay, so this could be my base layer while I'm paddling, and then obviously combine it with socks and shoes and all that. But if I'm concerned about the water, the options I have are, I have these NRS Hydra Skin. So I can put the Hydra Skin top and bottom underneath the paddling top and bottom. So that's kind of a whole four-piece setup. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll wear that stuff paddling, and then I'll have the wool set up for in camp. And then the down is just a backup in case I need it. The other thing is gloves. So in camp I'll wear these wool, 100% wool gloves, fingerless gloves and mitts, so that works well. And then while I'm paddling, I go to the glacier glove, mitt and fingerless glove, or I'll wear these heavier glacier glove neoprene gloves. So the only other thing that I bring with me in November is a orange vest. If I'm going anywhere away from the campsite, I'll put that on over whatever I'm wearing. Now some of the other things that I have that I bring depending on the weather conditions, I have a neoprene cap, so that will also fit under the Filson hat. And then if I feel like I need a heavier weight hood to wear around camp, I like this one, and I don't even know the brand of this one, but it's good. It's all fleece on the inside, it's nylon on the outside, so it's waterproof, and this works really nice, so I'll bring that with me. And if the weather conditions or the water conditions are really extreme, I do have a wetsuit that I can wear, so I can paddle in that. Generally I don't use this, but it's there in case I need it. I'll sometimes bring it with me and you know, have it in the vehicle, and then if I get there and the weather and water conditions warrant it, I'll use that instead of the Hydra Skin and the paddling jacket and top. Okay, so that's it. So it's kind of a mix and match type situation. Generally wool in camp, sometimes wool when I'm paddling if the conditions are not real bad, and then a mix of synthetics in there. So hopefully that gives you some ideas for what works for me when I'm paddling in the shoulder seasons of the Adirondacks. Okay, thanks very much.